Jamie here with Annapolis Discovered. It's no surprise that I love history, but the thing that makes it so interesting to me is when you can make a personal connection to it, which is why Annapolis is so great. The history, the stories come alive as you walk these streets. Speaking of streets, I have a map from 1718, and you could actually use the same map to walk around the city today. The footprint is virtually unchanged. It's also amazing to think about the many people through the course of history who have had their lives shaped by the city of Annapolis, including one very special person that we're going to talk about today, the writer of our national anthem, Francis Scott Key. When he lived here in Annapolis, it was this very home behind me on Shipwright Street where he lived with his great-aunt and great-uncle. His uncle was Dr. Upton Scott, a prominent physician who served as the personal physician for Governor Horatio Sharp. It's amazing to think that this was the very home that he lived in, and it's one of the many preserved 18th century homes here in Annapolis. Young Francis, known as Frank here in town, began his education first at the grammar school and then on to St. John's College, where he graduated in 1796. He went on to read law, and he passed the bar in 1801. While in Annapolis, he met and married Mary Taylor Lloyd, known as Polly, in 1802, here in the Chase Lloyd house where her family lived. After their marriage, the Lloyds moved to Georgetown, where he established his law practice. Fast forward several years, and we find Francis Scott Key in the middle of an unusual situation where he's about to make his greatest contribution to our country's history. It's the War of 1812, and he finds himself out on a boat in the middle of the Baltimore harbor, negotiating the release of a Baltimore physician, Dr. William Beans, who'd been captured by the British. The bombardment of Fort McHenry begins September 13, 1814. He watches through the night and into the next morning, and when he sees the stars and stripes flying victoriously over the fort as dawn breaks, he's inspired to pen the words to the defense of Fort McHenry. It was later renamed the Star-Spangled Banner, but we know it today as our national anthem. And to think, the writer of our national anthem spent much of his early life right here in Annapolis. I'm Jamie with Annapolis Discovered. I'll see you on our next adventure.